And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Vogue show with the lovely Julia.
And the lovely Bubbles. I mean, the lovely Richard.
The bubbly Vobes. It's nice to be back here on the 12th of October 2020, live in the studio. To you, all you wonderful, lovely people who are watching us at the moment as we do it. And also to all the lovely people who are watching us at some time after the show ever started, which is great. How are you, lovely Julia?
I'm good, thank you, lovely Richard. How are you?
Yes, no, I'm all right. Have you survived after you're floating down the river all and sundry?
I think I'm shell-shocked at the minute.
Yeah, it's...
I can't believe it's over already and we're back into routine. Maybe because we had really big, long narrow boats. Maybe we should have a really big long
studio, so that way, because the great thing about having a fantastic long narrow boat was that you could be at one end and I could be at the far other end, and we didn't actually have to deal with each other.
Yep,
that was probably an advantage for you. But we are here, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. Let's find out who else is out there in the Vobosphere.
The Vobosphere.
While I change my glasses.
Have the lovely Judith, lovely Days of Yore, the lovely Tony Smith, the lovely Ernie Samat, the lovely Connor's Dark Corner, the lovely Joseph Newman, the lovely Darren Howell, the lovely Audrey Forbes Hamilton, the lovely John F., the lovely Kerry Bolden, the lovely Roy Ballinger, the lovely Tracy Murphy, the lovely Welsh Wonder Jason Patrick, the lovely Andrew Murphy, the lovely Clive Waterfall, the lovely Peter Lowry, the lovely Turbo Stream, the lovely Andrew Norris, the lovely Jackie Traynor, the lovely Mike Dixon, the lovely Laura Noel C, the lovely Gloria Stagg, the lovely Linda Kane, lovely Ron Langley, lovely Angie Fenner, lovely Robert Baxter, the lovely Elaine Whitelock, and I think I said Days of Yore. Hello, everybody.
Hello, and if you weren't mentioned, we do apologise, but...
it doesn't always show up.
Exactly.
So I apologise.
So here we are. We are back now, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for those people who've sent in not one, not two, but 5 videos.
5?
5 videos, ladies and gentlemen.
5 videos today.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thunderbirds, I'll go. Yes, 5 videos for us to play in, and thank you so much. Now, I'd just like to say I am dawdling with the idea, if dawdling is the right terminology. I'm just thinking about reducing the number of shows that the Vogue show does at the moment to 1 a week. And the reason for that, what is the reason? Why did we had this very important business meeting earlier today? And the lovely Julia said, I think you should give it all up and get a proper job. No, you didn't. No, I just think, is this live or recorded, says Mike Dixon. No, none of it's recorded and none of it's live. It's a figment of your imagination, Mike. It's an absolute figment. 5.
That's a good imagination. 5. Or is it terrible?
Yes. No, well, I was thinking that this show doesn't really have any material in it at any point whatsoever. Maybe that's the whole purpose of it. And it's driven very much by the coach driver who's on a one-way ticket to Mars.
It's driven by the viewers.
It's driven by the viewers,
the viewers
really,
and the callers and the content
yes,
makers.
they're the content makers. No, says Andrew Norris, we can't survive on one Vobe show per week. Is that true?
Joseph Newman says, no, please, not one a week.
I suppose just coming off the boat made me feel like the pressure. It's been a pressure-free.
Sounds like you've been on you come across from America or something. Since I got off the boat.
Since I got off the boat where we took on water.
It makes me chuckle every time you say that.
Every time I say that. I don't know. Maybe I need encouragement. I need encouragement. I think what it is just being on the boat was away from everything, wasn't it? And now I come back here and it's like, wait a minute, there's pressure and there's stress, and haven't I got to go out and make another video? And haven't I got to do something? I mean, the last couple of days I've just been editing the videos that we've done. Yeah. And I've thoroughly enjoyed the editing process because the videos, I've done 3. You've only seen 1, but the other 2 have been out. They're okay, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they've come out all right.
And I like the cinematic. Thank you. I like the cinematic.
Oh my.
Nature of it. I like the sense of adventure, and I like that sort of weird. It's not just the ordinary walking around an old church or meandering down some country lane. There was jeopardy, and there was flooding, and there was no heating, and there was us going down the rapids out of control, and there was Indians firing arrows at us. And
Jackie Trainer says, but what will Eric do? You can't furlough him.
No, that's true. I can't afford to furlough him.
John F says, compromise too?
Compromise too. Oh, yes, that's true. Compromise too. I don't know. Maybe I'll plough on.
Angie Fenner would miss you.
Oh, would she?
Yes.
Angie Fenner.
Yes,
Fenner. Angie Fenner, I would miss.
From New Haven.
Yes, I know, from New Haven.
I was just remembering.
We must go down and beat her up. For saying no, we must go down and meet her at some point.
And meet her up.
Meet her
up.
That's
what you meant.
Yes, that's what I meant. No, we must. And it's nice to know the lovely Shirley, one of our viewers actually had disappeared off the face of Shirley from Shoreham, and she'd been very, very ill, and she'd gone to hospital. And I was getting a bit worried because normally I would hear emails from her. I don't know whether you're watching, Shirley, but she seems to be okay now, and we're so pleased. I hate it when I hear, if you get ill and you're not feeling terribly well, and you could be dying or something like that, please don't get in touch. Don't tell me. I take it to heart. It makes me really worried.
We want to know you're all right.
Yeah. So if
but we have been thinking of you.
Yeah.
We've been missing you.
If you're in trouble, just don't tell me. I know, because it's like you feel the pressure when people aren't very well. I don't know whether you feel that. When people aren't very well, you want to somehow breathe life back into them.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll just press on. I think it's just that sense of we had different stresses and pressures, but there were moments when we were standing on the bank going, how do we get this boat out of the water now that it's flooded and sunk? No, there were moments on the bank, weren't there? We were just sitting and nature all around us, and there was nothing. Didn't listen to the news, didn't turn the television on. I was just completely oblivious to everything. And then you come back and it's like, oh, yeah, that's right. There's all this people, hustle, bustle, people ringing you up about stuff that you don't want to know, bills that you've got to be paid. I didn't like it.
Yep.
And I just thought, I don't know. But the edits have come out nice. The videos are going to be good, and I want to do more of that. But anyway, what other comments are coming?
Audrey says it's just the post-holiday blues.
It wasn't a holiday. It was working trip. We were working.
Barry Hughes says can't really do 3 a week once you have a van and videoing further afield.
Well, that's what's on my mind. Is I want to go do a bit more travelling, and when I get my van, I certainly don't want to have the constraints of having to get back. That said, if I can do lives from the van, I think that will add a different.
Would be good.
Yeah, that would be a different dimension. Although they'd be better in the spring and summer when it's light, because what are you going to see other than me?
Yeah. Linda Kane can sympathise with the thoughts behind it, but maybe too.
Well, I mean, I can be twisted, my arms. I just felt that I was getting a bit stale towards, the last few months. Just with no content and just rambling on about any old rubbish that came into my head. And maybe I will find that having done today's show, I thoroughly enjoy it, and I've got back into it. We're having problems with the colours.
Yes, someone's mentioned. Days of Yore says, I find the colours on the live stream are less saturated than previously.
Yeah, I don't know quite what's going on.
We cannot flummox it.
I cannot flummox it. I haven't changed the... Well, I did change the camera about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a while ago. And before we went, it was fine. I need to up the saturation somehow. I haven't really changed the lights, but since we've been back, things have just not been the same. You know, it's like you put the sugar down somewhere. No, I don't have sugar. You put your Frosties. I don't have Frosties. think of a thing. You put something down, and when you come back, someone else has moved it or twiddled the knob.
Elaine Whitelock says, stale? Never.
Ah, well, that's very kind of you. We do have 104 people watching, which is rather remarkable. Hello to you, 104 people. Thank you so much for tuning in. If any of you do enjoy any of this, do put your thumbs up or stick them in your ears.
Linda Kane makes another fine point. If you are that stale, why are there 103 people watching at the moment, I wonder?
What, we lost one already?
Oh no, it still says 104 over there.
Oh, well, that's all right.
And hello, Elijah.
Hello, Elijah. Did you miss your mum, Elijah?
And probably hello, Jojo.
When she was away? I bet you did.
Yes, he's been treating me like a queen since I got back. It's been amazing.
Oh, well, long may that last.
I missed him a lot too.
Yes, of course. I remember you saying how much you missed your family when you were away, and you only had me to put up with when I was cooking lovely food for you. Mm-hmm. Actually, when did I do it? I did cook one meal.
You did cook.
I cooked something.
I
cooked something.
The
I can't
days
remember
are
what it
blended together, though, didn't they?
You did some egg mash things.
Egg mash?
An egg that you put on toast. What do you call it?
Scrambled egg.
Yes, that's
mash
it. Egg mash. Well, that's what it was.
Oh,
and then I did some stir fry thing, didn't I?
Yes. No. You were going to do stir fry, but you did a chicken casserole type.
I did a casserole. That's right. Lovely chicken casserole.
It was lovely.
Yes.
But you chucked a load of pepper.
I put a lot of
pepper.
He said,
just put a bit of pepper in it. I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And then I'm like,
Julia doesn't like ground black pepper.
Well, I do like it on certain things.
In scrambled egg, you can tolerate
I don't like it to the same degree you do.
Tons of it. I like to have a little bit of food with
your
my
pepper.
Black pepper. Yeah, absolutely.
Indeed.
That's how I enjoy my black pepper. I find it was a bit, but you had seconds.
I did, because it was really tasty. It was really wholesome. Although
it was wholesome. We did eat well.
And the vegetables in it was good.
We did eat reasonably well. I mean, it was supermarket food because we had no choice of where we could get our grub from.
Yeah, if we weren't so weighed down with all of the issues we'd had with the boats and moving boats and things like that. Well, not moving boats, but transferring boat.
Yes.
We would have had time to have found like a farm shop and things like that, and done it tried to be more sustainable.
The funny thing is, I mean, we said this the first time round when we got off the boat in last year, and then the same thing occurred to us. We really need, when we do these boat trips, we need 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It takes you about 3 days just to acclimatise.
Get into it.
And get into the swing and get a routine, because it's not your ordinary routine with a bloke trying to film everything. And the other thing is, we only really had Stratford-on-Avon to aim for, which took a little bit.
We didn't even get there.
And we didn't even get there.
Oh, are we giving spoilers away now?
Well, that's true. We mustn't do that. Well, because the boat was so soddingly long, we were told that you wouldn't be able to turn it round in the marina.
Well, it would be tight because it'd be full of other boats and things like that. But also, there was the key part that made my mind up that we weren't going to go any further, was that the next lock, right next to the Premier Inn, the very boat we'd been on had been filmed failing in it because it's quite tight.
The boat we had been stuck in the lock, and I don't know whether it got stuck on the sill or what, but he said it's famously the boat. So we had 2 jinxed boats, but we don't want to give too many spoilers away.
That's a very good point, Gabriel.
Where's the
phone?
Oh, where is the phone? Sorry, yes, the phone.
Where's the studio phone?
The phone is in the other room because I charged it up and I've forgotten to bring it back in again.
Would you like me to go fetch it, or do you want to go again?
I'm going to play a video and I'll regret it.
All right.
And I'll regret
All right.
it. I'll get. Yeah, sorry about that. We will put the phone line on. We just thought we'd have a nitty nat chitty chatty choo. This old dog has done a great big, and I'll clean it up later. There was one other point that I wanted to make before we moved on, and I can't remember what it was.
Linda Kane says, presume quite a few people who watch are going to be under more restrictions than down here in the southeast. So this could be a party with 100 people with no risk attached.
Yes, that's right. A party with no risk attached.
Woo!
No risk of a party.
Bubbles!
Hey, there we go. Flying bubbles from the Glastonbury bubble machine, which is...
Sprays and sings and thanks. So
So-
that's the skill. That's the level of my skill of speaking today.
So, sorry about the colours on this, but we have got colour in our video. So let's have a look and see which video we'll shove on first of all. The lovely Adrian from TurboStream has been out and about. He's not in Pembrokeshire this time, but he's doing something that is something I am looking forward to doing, but not in his, if you see what I mean.
Well, what a beautiful day for a walk in the woods. Welcome to the Trimpley Valley in Worcestershire. One of my favourite walks. Some nice logs there for a log burner or an essay. Beautiful. I've always wanted to own this little cottage right in the middle of the woods. What a lovely place there, Richard. That's the place for you. The meeting of 4 paths. The 7-way, North Worcestershire Path, Beauty River and Rail Circular Trail, and the Upper Arley Circular Walk. And did you hear the steam train? Yes, steam trains. And this is Upper Arley Village. That's the post office, is a tea room. So we're now going to try and buy an ice cream. Well, we've advanced now across the River Severn into a place called Seckley Wood. We're now going to try and find Seckley Viewpoint. You can see. Last time I came there were some pigs. It's starting to turn into a mature woodland forest and more natural than it used to be. See the planters and saplings there. I always pause at this plaque on this little bench. I love the prose of it. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him, nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man. John Francis Rose, 1938 to 2008. A fantastic plaque to remember you by. But there we go, this is Seckley Viewpoints. So we've got River Severn down there, and we've got Trimpley Reservoir on the right hand side. You can't really see down there, but you've got the river, the bridge over the river. Let's pick it up. Well, you can see we've got a fantastic view. The wind's really strong today, really strong. Well, Richard, the advantage of having a van is when you've been for a walk, you can have a nice cup of coffee. Cheers.
Yes, I can see the advantages straight away. And how lovely and wonderful is that?
And my favourite part of that,
Yeah.
apart from the cheese,
Yeah.
was the pigs.
The pigs.
The pigs, didn't they look so lovely? They look brilliant right there.
Just mucking about as they do.
They're not mucking about.
They're mucking
They're
about
mucking
in the
about.
forest, snorting and snuffling like pigs do, and it's lovely to see.
Yeah,
Anyway,
thanks for that, Adrian.
yeah, thank you so much for that, Adrian. It's lovely to see that, and we appreciate your videos when you send them in. The phone is now here, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I'll just go back to there so you can
Destroy your studio.
destroy the set. And you can call in 0793474670 is the number, just in case. Any good comments coming in there, lovely Julia?
Yep, lots of praise for the lovely video. Lovely old town and trains. We
Yeah.
love pigs.
We do love pigs.
Nice scenery. That video hit the spot, Adrian. Love the sound of the train whistle, said Rami Boo. Yep, lots of lovely comments.
Thank you very much. Keep them coming, which is superb. So the question is, what do we do next?
Yeah.
Need another adventure. This is what I said to Julia when we were feeling we had a blue day. The last day was a particularly blue day. We knew we had to
Really struggled to shake that blues off my
send
head.
the boat back on the working trip. Although it wasn't without its own little mishap, which we won't. I don't think I filmed. We did an update about it, but I don't remember filming anything about it.
We didn't. No, because it was the last day and we were just focused on getting back to
Getting
the,
back, yeah. I'm afraid the
boatyard.
last day didn't really have much, and yet we had this thing. So we can actually say that, can't we? We can say what happened because we didn't film it. It's not in the.
Yeah, I don't know. Can't remember. It's all one big blur. Like
It is.
this time has been rolled up together.
We did a film this afternoon, which will be our debrief. Where I don't want to go over that because that will be us picking out favourite moments from the films. But you need to have seen the films to make that work. Otherwise, it's a pointless thing. And we did that, and I've yet to edit it, but I'll edit that and put in the bits that we're talking about. So yeah, but we need another thing, and you mentioned Glastonbury.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Because Gabriel has shown us some interesting places that we didn't do on the very first trip that we ever did together.
Yeah.
And we stayed at that little watermill place, didn't we?
Yeah, that was an amazing place.
A little bed and breakfast place with an actual
A working
mill.
watermill.
And the guy did do some flour, which is a shame we didn't buy any other flour from them.
Yeah.
Because I would have liked to have. I wasn't making bread then, but it would have been nice to have made some bread with the flour from that. So, but we're definitely looking for another adventure. You know, where we get stranded, perhaps fall down a well, or we're up a tree where there's fire all around. Some life-threatening thing. Maybe go out somewhere where you might get COVID, like walk out your front door. Life-threatening.
Did you just
stuff.
say the C word?
Did I just say it? I'm not sure what I said. I never play back what I say in real life.
By the way, ahoy there, floating our boat.
Ahoy there, floating a boat. Are they out there?
They're out there now.
We're missing you.
Yep.
Should just say big thanks to Fran and Rich, who is giving us advice throughout the whole trip.
Yep. They definitely gave us some solace, didn't they?
It was brilliant because Rich was there saying, can you straighten the camera up? Can you focus it a bit? Can you film a bit more of Julia? Be less in it yourself. Show more of Joe. Try not to hog the scenes. Don't talk when Julia's talking. Yeah, thanks for all that advice, Rich. That's great.
Linda Kane says, what about for the next adventure? What about up a tree on the HS2 route, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
I'm down for that. I need some childcare, and I'm down for that. Stop these.
Maybe if you've got
trees from being
Joe
cut down.
and put him in front of a tractor or a steamroller or whatever, one of these JCBs. But the trouble with Joe is he would just get up and crawl off. He didn't sit still for very long.
Like I'd put him in the face of
No,
danger.
but they wouldn't go over him. But what I'm
I
saying is
wouldn't
he
want
would
to take
just
that
go,
risk.
oh, and then you get up, probably climb the nearest tree.
Yeah.
He does.
He'd be happy to climb a tree with me.
He does climb your stairs a lot.
Yep.
And he climbs mine when he comes over here.
Yep. And he clings to trees when we put him in them.
Yeah, he's very good. And he's very good on stranded boats too. Because there was this time when the boat floated away down the Thames and we'd got off and he was just like looking at us going, "What? You're leaving me?" We said, "We'll see you down by the lock." No, obviously that didn't happen.
Obviously.
But if it had, it would have been great footage.
If it had, I would have died of heart attack already. And multiple other things.
Yeah. Angie Fenner says it looked a bit cold and wet.
Cruise the Med next time.
Yeah, cruise the Med. Well, we don't want it too easy. We need a challenge. Jackie Trainer says you should all be the same boat together and take a trip to the pub.
We should all be on the same boat together and take a trip to the pub and give Richard 2 pints. This would be an adventure.
There was a moment on the journey where we did go to the pub.
Yeah.
And somebody got rather drunk.
Yeah. I can't imagine why or who.
I can't imagine who that was.
No.
But I didn't wake up with a headache, luckily, in the morning.
No.
Thank God. If it had been red wine or something like that, I think I would have had a bit of a brain freeze. So there we go. I thought someone was desperate to ring in. Hence, where's the phone? The phone is on, and they're not so desperate.
Linda says she'll look after Joe so I can get up a tree because she couldn't. She would if she could though.
Yeah.
I'd do it for you, Linda. I would.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know where they are. These tree people up at HS2 land. What town or near?
I've lost track of the locations that they're currently.
Presumably they move one step ahead, do they, of where the diggers are? A bit like us with the locks.
Yeah.
See a tree, climb it, and go, "Hey, you can't get me now." "Yes, all right, mate. The train line's going that way. We're not going in this field." Oh, last. make a good sketch.
Oh, okay. Ramaboo has also offered to look after Joe. Or at least she would if she wasn't a million miles away.
Can you not put a postage stamp on him and put him in the letterbox? I did that once with Stanley. But anyway, by the way, I'm a grandfather second time round.
Yes, congratulations.
I spoke to my son, Stanley, my eldest son, and he had a baby just as... he didn't physically have the baby,
be a miracle.
Of course. He contributed for 5 seconds. And Patricia, his fiancée, did all the hard work, and apparently it was quite long and arduous. But they got a lovely baby boy, quite a big baby boy. And I said, "What have you got a name?" They said, "No, we're calling him Meatball at the moment till we can find a name." So that's yeah. So anyway, so there we go. I've got a 2-year-old, 2.5 now nearly, grandson, and a 2-day-old grandson. So yeah, I'm very proud of my son. My other kids, of course, have not managed to do anything in that. And thank God Billy and Sharifa hasn't, because otherwise they'd be... pterodactyls everywhere.
Pterodactyls everywhere.
Yeah, good old pterodactyl. Let's go and have a look at another video. And in the video box tonight, Dave Ford has got something rather interesting to show us that he's found down in the New Forest. Take it away, Dave.
Hello, Richard. Hello, everybody in Vobes land. Hope you're all well. It's Dave here, out once again in the New Forest. Something I want to show you, and it's on the ground. Now, it's not this that I want to show you, although that is quite sweet and pretty, but we're just gradually going to make our way, picking my way through the pony poo. This is what we've come to see. Devil's finger. Perhaps not the prettiest fungi in the world, but there's absolutely loads of it here. This is the perfect environment for them, and look at these ones here. They look like little sea creatures, don't they, with their tentacles. And look at this one over here as well. Like a little octopusy type creature. Isn't that wonderful? Well, that's it. I just wanted to show you that. I'm off back into the woods for another walk. So until I meet again, see you soon. Bye bye.
Bye, Dave.
Bye bye, Dave.
That
Thank
was
you so
great.
much. Wasn't that amazing?
Yeah.
They did look like
Little octopus.
yes,
Octopies.
octopies.
Octopuses.
I think an octopi and custard would be quite nice. Or
Anyway.
or a gravy or something like that.
You know, I've still not seen any of those fungi in the flesh.
No,
That was the fungi.
it did look like little fingers of fun. Hence the fun guy.
Yeah.
At Home with Mindy says, can't believe you said 5 seconds on live telly, poor Stanley. What do you mean 5 seconds?
It's about making the baby.
Oh, well, yes, you know, I don't know, I'm not there measuring the time, am I? And on your marks, get set, go.
Dawn Copping says, congratulations, Richard. And she has her first grandchild. So congratulations to you,
Oh,
Dawn.
congratulations. It does make you feel a lot older, though, doesn't it? I mean, now I look in the mirror and I legitimately see the dark lines and the heavy jowl and the big long beard and the big cauliflower ears, the squashed nose and the cap, the big checked cap and the whippet dog and the long suits and the baggy trousers and the walking...
What was the long suits about? What was this?
The
Long
long suits, you know, that old people seem to wear these clothes because they get thinner and thinner and disappear. Their clothes seem to get bigger and bigger. Their ears grow and their teeth...
What's this?
This is a phone call. Let's find out who the hell it is giving us a tinkle on the old Vobie. Oh, what happened to the signal?
I don't know.
Hang on. Hello. I've lost everything.
Have you?
Oh, is it the white plug? One of the plugs needs pushing in.
I've heard that before.
That's because I went to pull the thing out. Ready?
We've gone off air. That's better. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. We went off air for a moment. One of the plugs was pulled out. I don't know where the camera is now, though. Oh, there it is.
Unfortunately, the wire for this was underneath the thingy.
Oh, under
Do we
the
still
plug.
have a caller? No, we've lost everything, have we?
Have we lost? We've made... No, the caller is still there. I just... hello?
Okay.
Hello?
Hey, Phil.
Hello,
You're
caller.
here.
Hi, Phil.
My colours... the camera's reset itself. Everything... Certain things on that particular ring main just went off. Because... when Julia picked up her headphones, it inadvertently...
Yeah, the wire for this was caught underneath the other
plug.
plug. So I had to put it all the way out to pull that free and then put it back in all the way. There you go.
So apologies for that. It's reset everything. I'm going to go and fiddle with the camera in a second so I can at least try and recalibrate the colours. But who is it?
Yes.
Evening, all.
Evening, oh. It's Glastonbury. Hello, Glastonbury.
Hello, geezer. I would have rung you earlier, but since you... Because I tried to ring, and then
Yeah,
the
well,
phone wasn't on.
Mr. Phone
So I
Call,
drove
guess it
home.
was you.
Yeah. I was at work.
Oh, yeah, you drove home. Sorry, I'm just fiddling with the white balance.
Yeah, I rang up and everything fell apart. I'll have to do that more often.
Yeah, do.
Yes. So I missed the beginning of the show. What's this about you going down to 1 day a week?
Oh, he was toying with it.
I was toying with the idea when I got... Hang on, I'm not near the microphone because I've just been fiddling with the camera. It probably looks even worse now.
Yeah, I'm sat there still, so yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, oh, look, we look even ghost-like now. I need to do a proper white balance because the camera's just reset itself to some terrible... Maybe I'll put it onto auto.
Tell you what, I'll put the kettle on, shall I, everyone?
Yeah, put the...
Yeah, put the kettle.
I think we all need a cup on.
I was... Yeah, no, you explain what my thoughts were because they can't hear me very well. About 1 day a week.
Yeah, his thoughts are what are your thoughts on it? I know we talked about it earlier.
But can't you remember?
No.
Oh.
Anyway, Glenn Johnson says, hi, people on my computer. Sorry, I'm late. Roads are terrible. Well, I'm glad you made it then.
Can you could you do me a favor? Sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen. Could you just put my chair around? That's it. Perfect. No, just around there. That's great. I've just got to do my... I don't know how much you can hear, but I've got to do my white balance again.
You do your white balance.
Well, so I talk and keep everybody amused while you're doing that.
Yeah, I bet they will.
So basically, Gabriel, every now
Yes.
and then Richard goes through these motions of kind of a bit self-doubt, or, you know, of, oh, where am I going with this? What's my purpose
He's a
here?
creative lovely, of course he does.
So
They
yeah.
all do.
So that's
It's the
it's,
territory.
I think it's partly one of those, and partly the blues from having returned back from a lovely, if mildly traumatic, boating trip. So yeah,
The colours look
but
rubbish.
he's a workaholic. I can't actually imagine him cutting them down at all.
No.
He might for a week and then miss it.
I did hear him say something about his is going stale.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's the seed of doubt. The I'm not good enough, and this, that, and the other. He goes through this every now and then.
Yeah, is that the same as being samey stale?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Very samey.
Because I tell you what you could do if you want think of things to do for the show. You know how good the show is when Julia's on it?
Yeah.
Well, we were talking a while back about maybe co-hosting with different people using Skype. Why don't you introduce different guests and bring other guests onto the show when Julia's not around?
You've threatened to do it, but you haven't actually done that
I've
yet.
done it because there's very few people that will actually come on. It'll be the same old crowd. It's a bit like the phone calls, no disrespect, but we get the same people ring in, and I love that. But I can't get these colours. I just don't know what's the matter with the sodding camera now. I've given up with it. It'd be nice if people like, other people, I don't want to get any names, but people who we never hear from ring in from time to time instead of it's lovely having the reliable people like yourself, absolutely, and I'm not knocking it at all, but for the sake of variety, we look so washed out. What is the matter with it? I don't understand. I've got
Anemic much?
anemic TV at the moment. I can't even find the mouse. Yeah, it looks dreadful. There's no colour. Wonder why there's no colour. Anyway, that's a technical issue that nobody really cares about, and we'll just meander on through. But no doubt, knowing me, I will carry on. I'll suddenly go, do you know what? Let's do a show.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's loads of people who not necessarily tune in every night who you could invite on who maybe haven't been on the show at all.
Yes.
Or previous guests. I mean, I'd like this Dumpman back on, and
I know
some other people.
the thing. I mean, it'd be great if Dumpman came back on, but because it's a bit of an arse. It's a bit of a trek for him to get down to the studio.
Yeah.
Skype.
Skypey.
Yeah, that's true.
Skype. Well, if you're an oyster, you could have all sorts. Fran doing a co-host with you.
Oh,
There
that
are all
would be
sorts of people.
good.
You could have some fantastic shows.
Colours look great. This end says floating our boat. Clive Waterfall says colours look fine to me, but then I'm colourblind. That's all right. You know what I'm like. I just wanted to try and get everything spot on and right, and it bedevils me. It sends a whisker up my willy.
That's an idea, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Well, maybe we'll try that. Maybe we'll get the Skype working so that we can get different guests on. If you would like to be a guest on the show and be grilled by the Vobes, and we'll rinse some money out of you. Sorry, couldn't resist it.
Don't rinse any more colour out.
Yeah, I can't rinse. The colour's been rinsed, but people are saying the colour's okay. But thank you very much. I'm glad. It's just our feedback. It just looks so. In the studio here, it just looks so anemic, doesn't it? Than what it's used to. It's something weird about the lights. I've got it. It's a technical thing. I've got it. It's all daylight, and everything should be just on daylight because the daylight lights are set. But it's just. I think the whole studio needs rebuilding from ground up. I need a bigger room, which would be nice, so we can have a bit of Tone in the background as
Tone
or Boca. As some people.
Okay.
Oh, bouquet.
Bouquet. I watch one particular guy who always calls it tone.
All right.
Yeah, it's just that's his thing. He doesn't call it bokeh. He's just made up a different word. It's all good fun. Any pale and interesting, says Deborah Martin. Marvellous. Which is good. Who's on the phone, says Robert Croser. Obviously
He's
not paying
worked it
attention.
out already.
Not a problem, Richard. You are concerned, I'm sure. Toenails says, what has toenails got to do with it?
That's what it sounds like you'd said.
Oh, toenail, yeah, toner. Tony, Tone, Toneh. I don't understand it. It's just a bloke I watch. We all watch different people on the Tube of Views.
Bouquet, I found a place where we can bouquet.
Anyway, so one thing that we did say, Mr. Glastonbury, is that we were going to try and get another adventure and come down and see you and explore more of that area because you've highlighted a load of places that, of course, we didn't even know about and places that we never had a chance to get to.
That's the thing. We didn't have a guide back then.
We didn't have a guide back then, no.
Well, look, this time we can plan it before you come down and get loads of places on your itinerary.
Yeah, absolutely. At the moment, though, I don't know where you can go and what you can't do because as soon as you start to plan to go somewhere, the government are deciding, oh, no, you can't go there now. The roads are closed. I'm sorry, we've blown it all up, exterminated everybody and wiped the history off the earth.
Yeah, I guess that depends which way the wind's blowing, doesn't it?
It does. What's that in the background? Have you got noises? Are you in a cash? What? Laura?
I'm in a Morrison supermarket.
You're talking us from Morrison's?
Sadly, yes. Not the one next door to you.
No.
The one next door to me.
What are you buying?
Oh, I'm looking... do you ever get that where you walk around like a fart in a trance, just thinking, what can I have for tea? You just haven't got a clue.
Just to say that again, walking around like a fart in a trance.
That's what I thought you said.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Is that what you said? Live?
That's me at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm
live,
walking up and down the aisles and I don't fancy anything.
Yeah, and you said that live on my show.
Oh, sorry.
Outrageous.
Sorry.
It's an outrage. It's an outrage. There are people there who are trying to work out what a fart in a trance must look like.
Like
Well,
this.
a bit like me walking around the supermarket.
There we go.
Like me.
There we go. Marvellous. Well, we've got a video of yours to play in, funnily enough.
Yeah.
I
made one.
Yeah, it's interesting. It was very odd seeing an interview with somebody wearing a mask. People will see this very nice bloke, and I suppose you had to do it that way.
The only way it can be done.
Yeah.
That's the only way it can be done.
It's
Full masks in there.
yeah, it's a shame because it it dates it, doesn't it?
It does. It does kind of.
But
nothing I can do.
what he says is fascinating. So I think we should go and watch it, and everyone will understand what I mean. That's not a crit at all. It's just that's the life, isn't it? Of trying to.
I know it bugged the hell out of me, but it was either that or don't do it.
Yeah.
And,
Well, I got hammered.
This mask thing's going to finish.
I got hammered by people when we were in a Tesco's, which to those people who don't know is a supermarket in England. We went into this Tesco's.
Both masked.
Both masked. We were doing some shopping, and I thought, oh, we haven't done an update. I'll do an update, say what we're doing. I won't have a photograph of me wearing a mask, just a personal thing. It's, everyone's entitled to do it. There was nobody in the vicinity, not in the aisle or even the other aisle near us. There are people who don't have masks on, and they're the people who've got, they are exempt because they can't breathe very well. Doesn't mean to say that that they're exempt from actually having the COVIDs. They may have got the COVIDs.
So you whisked off your mask and took a quick photo.
So yeah, whipped it off, did a quickie, bunged it back on again, and then of course I was hammered by people on the social media, the keyboard warriors who've got nothing better to do than go, you got your mask off, oh dear, we're all gonna die, oh dear, we're all gonna die, Vobes got his mask off,
Just for perspective. For perspective, it was so, it was so quick. that I didn't even
Yeah.
notice he'd taken a photo or taken his mouth off. Muff?
My mouth.
He didn't notice he took my mouth
Did you
off.
not notice I took my
No, I
mouth
didn't
off?
even notice
I
he
took
took
my
my
mouth
mouth
off.
off.
I took
No, I
my
didn't
mouth
notice.
off.
I didn't know a bit of everything. Anyway, I'm sorry I started him on that.
I don't know where my mouth is. I haven't got a mouth. Thanks. He's chuckling away. Anyway, so so the masks, I just find them obnoxious. Anyway, let's watch your video. Thank you so much for testing the phone system and making sure I'd gone in the back room and got it.
Breaking everything.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's all right. No, I'm breaking everything. But it's all good fun, isn't it? And by the way, got the gimbal. Funny enough, it's just like a little gimbal I've got at home. It's just a little stubbier than the gimbal I've got, but it's the same sort of thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's lovely. But
It
I'll make
works a treat.
I'll make sure you get it back.
Yeah, okay. Right, yeah, I will talk to you soon, and I'll give you a call in the week, and we'll sort out some bits and pieces.
Yes, got to sort
Right.
those bits and pieces.
Yes, that's it.
All right, matey. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
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 That was Gabriel from Glastonbury. I think he's in Glastonbury, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're in Worthing, aren't you?
I am in Worthing all day this week. Next week, maybe somewhere else. So let us go into the thing that is What's It's and have a look at Glastonbury Gabriel's video in which masks have been worn.
I went to my off, I went to my off.
Sorry.
You join me here today. I'm outside Wells Cathedral, which you can see behind me, and today we're in for a real treat. I'm meeting a chap called Ben Potter. He's a guide at the cathedral here, and he's going to show us around and maybe show us some things that the normal tours don't look at. So, without any further ado, let's go and have a look at what's in there. So I've now met with the wonderful Mr. Ben Potter, our guide for today. Morning, Ben.
Morning.
We are starting off on the west front. Unfortunately, someone has chosen this point of time to come and spray it.
Well, this is the cloister. Cloisters in monastic foundations were places of work for the monks, as well as places for prayer and contemplation. But here in Wells, which is what we call a secular cathedral, which sounds rather strange, there were never any monks here. So it was run by a college of canons, a collection of canons, and that means that it escaped the destruction by Henry VIII.
Otherwise, this could be another Glastonbury Abbey.
It could indeed.
You know, every time I walk through that door, this takes my breath away.
It's quite something, isn't it?
It is absolutely stunning. It's my favourite cathedral.
Here we are at the back of the nave. The word nave comes from the same root as navy, partly because it's maybe evocative of an upturned boat, and it's also interpreted as a ship of souls making their way on heavenwards. The great distinguishing feature about Wells Cathedral is that it was built in Norman times. It was begun in 1175 or thereabouts, and it's built to a Gothic pattern. It's the first wholly Gothic cathedral in England. Gothic architecture was evolved by Abbot Suger at Saint-Denis, Paris, and he borrowed the pointed arch from Islamic art and architecture. It's very uplifting, evokes the idea of a pair of praying hands, and it draws the eye and draws the mind upwards. But Gothic architecture has some very practical advantages to it as well. The previous style of architecture, the Norman style, the Romanesque style, the arches are semicircular, supported on massive pillars.
Like a Gloucester.
Yes, Gloucester dates from one right through to the
It does,
latest
yeah.
style of Gothic. This is early English Gothic, and the advantage of the pointed arch is that it will take more weight to the same amount of stone used. And almost all of the constructional stone here came from Dolting Quarry, which is about 8 miles east of here and still open. There are two other characteristics of Gothic architecture. If you raise your eyes to the ceiling, you can see that there are these exposed stone ribs, and they actually bear the load. They're infilled with stone, but in some ways it's more like a timber structure in that those ribs are like timbers and they bear the load. The style of ribbing evolved. This is early. It's not very much decorated at all. So you can take away the stonework in between and it would remain standing. And the fact that the arches are stronger means that the walls can be made thinner, and that ultimate expression of that is that you can put more windows in. And you mentioned Gloucester, and of course the east window at Gloucester is virtually glass. That's a very late perpendicular style Gothic window. It's quite spectacular. Abbot Suger had a doctrine of lux umbra Dei, light is the shadow of God. So therefore the more light you had in your building, the more God you had in your building. And also as a very practical point, in that the only artificial light they could have had would have been candles, and candles were a big item in the budget, so it saved you money. So that's a real first for Wells. Wells is famous for its carvings. We've got lots and lots of capitals, as we call them, and it's a style known as stiff leaf. Why it's called stiff leaf, I don't really know, but to me it looks very fluid and flexible. There are all sorts of hidden little expressions about the place, and if we just stand here by the west door, there's this pillar here and a pilaster, and just tucked up behind and above there's a carving. It's isolated, it's not really on view to the public, and half the time I look at it and persuade myself it's a wyvern, short two-legged dragon. Half the time I think it's a bird, but it's not replicated on the other side, it just is there. So I would like to encourage visitors who come to keep their eyes open and to keep looking up, because the place is full of surprises.
There we go. How about that? Multi-masking, as somebody said.
Yes,
yeah, we saw the guy there, very nice chap, very knowledgeable about his perpendicular architecture and all of that. And the Norman arches being circular and the Gothic arch being in the shape of hands, which is very true. But his ability to magically change mask mid-sentence, I found superb. What happened there, Mr. Gabriel?
Apparently, he changed mask to one that didn't steam up his glasses.
That'll be it.
Yeah.
I thought that every time we saw him, he would have a different mask
I was hoping
on.
for that.
We thought that was the gag.
That would have been funny.
But yeah, interesting bloke. Very interesting and fascinating stuff about architecture there.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Gabriel.
Yeah, really interesting. Like that. And I knew he was going to say that you could get more load on the same stone because of the Gothic arch than the Romanesque, which was earlier and therefore more primitive. Whereas which is interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. Good stuff. And we look forward to part 2, which will be coming maybe on Wednesday or Friday, depending if there's a Vobe show, which I'm sure there will be.
Yeah.
Once I've sorted out the bloody colours on the camera, I do apologise, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give my camera.
I think it's only really irritating yourself.
It is irritating myself. I'm very easily irritated by technical inadequacies.
Yes, you are.
So there we are, and that's it. I was waiting for that too. Said
The change of mask.
the change of mask. Yeah. Wonderful video. We have a prize winner shed in Gothic in Goring.
Cool. The colours are fine, apparently.
Your colours are fine. Oh, that's all right. It's just our monitor is looking a bit naff. Linda Kane says, I guess all cathedrals ask for donations, but paying to get in is totally not on. Guess many people think that they can enjoy it for free, bit like Richard asking for patronage. Yes, it's very much like that. I do pray for patronage every day in every way. More patrons are giving me more of their money. Yeah, it doesn't always work, unfortunately. But, you know. Colours look great in Kent. Thank God they look all right in Kent. We can persevere with the show.
People want us to talk about the trip.
The ship?
The trip.
The trip. Oh, they want us to talk about the trip. Oh, right. Okay, let's talk
Shall we talk about the trip?
Talk about the trip. What aspect of the trip would you like to talk about?
I don't know. Going to the pub was a good one.
Yeah, going to the pub. was something that I haven't been to a pub for a long time, and I didn't even go in it. I had to sit outside with little Joe.
With Jojo, who was asleep in the chair.
But we spoke to a very nice farmer down there.
Yes.
Lovely farmer, who's a nice gentleman there. Farming is in. They don't talk like that.
No, they don't.
He was very nice, and he actually had been a estate manager, I think he said, for Mary Arden's Tudor working farm. And Mary Arden, of course, as you probably know, was the mother of William Wordsworth. Shakespeare.
I'm like,
Shakespeare. Yes, William Wallace's mum. And no, not William Wallace.
William Shakespeare's mother.
Yes, William. I can't think of it. Wilberforce. Anyway, she was somebody's mother. I think Shakespeare.
Yeah,
there was a question that you wanted to ask about
yeah,
that. Here's a question.
I mean, well, obviously his mother's name is Mary Arden.
Yes.
And his name is Shakespeare.
And his father's called... Yeah, so was Arden his mother's maiden name?
And she's just known for that because that was her name?
Or did they never get married?
Was she not Mary Shakespeare? Does anybody know the answer to this?
Does anybody know the answer? Did Mary Arden ever marry Mr. Shakespeare and have...
Back in those times, it would have been imperative for her reputation, wouldn't it?
Yes, an unmarried
and
woman.
therefore William's reputation.
Yes, an unmarried mother of a playwright. Who knows?
Yeah. And Nigel Sadler says, legless in Arden.
Legless in Arden.
Well, technically, the place is called Wilmcote.
Yes.
Legless in Wilmcote.
It's a lovely little village called Wilmcote. And we met this farmer who had some sheep. And I immediately got on to I'm going to quiz you about farming and sheep.
What do you do with the fleeces?
What do you do with the fleeces? I said, isn't it true that they're not worth anything? And he said, yeah, no, it is. He said they're trying to get them for insulation.
Yeah, great insulation, because that's what they revolve to do.
And it's I find it incredible that here we are, you walk around England and you look at some of these fine timber framed properties, which have probably been built on the back of fleece money. Not money that had been fleeced out of patrons or rinsed even.
I was waiting for that.
Did you just badum-tish?
I certainly did.
But the wool merchants made a ton of money out of selling fleeces, and of course, they made a ton of money out of it. That's what I just said. I just said all that.
You just said all that.
And now it costs more to shear the fleece than the fleece is worth. And why is that? That's down to man-made artificial rubbish that keeps people cleaner, wetter and warmer than natural fibre. I don't understand. Here we go.
Mary Shakespeare, née Arden, was the mother of William Shakespeare. She was the daughter of Wilmcote gentleman farmer Robert Arden, a cadet of the Arden family prominent in Warwickshire. So, there you go. So she was Mary Shakespeare, but she's known as Mary Arden, I suppose, just because...
That's the family name.
Yeah.
And it works well. According to Wikipedia, she was the wife of John Shakespeare. Yeah.
And apparently there is far more we don't know about Shakespeare than what we do.
Yes, I always thought that some people thought that Shakespeare, nobody knows if he was a real person. I thought he was a bit like Jesus, that you can't actually, carbon date his skeleton or something. He didn't have a Turin shroud, but he had a piece of vellum paper. Because when Shakespeare was very small, isn't it true that he got a potato printer and was writing his plays in a sandpit?
So I'm trying to digest this. What on earth were you talking about? Sandpit? What?
She didn't hear a word of that.
No, I'm probably glad. I guess.
You're promptly glad.
I put my teeth in. I'm probably very glad to have not heard what you were waffling about.
What were you looking at then?
Apparently, according to Google, Robert Arden died in 1556, and convention decreed that any marriage in the Arden family could only take place after the mourning period of 1 year. So it was that Mary Arden, the heiress, and John Shakespeare, the yeoman, married in 1557 to become the bard's mother and father.
I like that. And so it was. It's very much like a fairy tale.
Yes.
And so it came to pass that in the end, the poor twindling twaddles had no choice but to go and do the twiddly-toos.
Twiddly-toos, eh?
Clive Waterfall says, I remember many years ago falling asleep on one of the benches in front of Wells Cathedral late one evening, waiting to meet friends who never turned up, woken up and asked to move on by a copper. Hello, hello, hello. What are you doing here lying on this bench, Mr. Waterfall?
Oh, sorry about that, officer. I'm waiting for my friends.
I'll have you know that it's 4 a.m. in the morning. What kind of friends are you waiting for?
I'll have you know, officer, not very nice friends, 'cause they ain't turned up, have they? I'll be slinging my hook now.
I'll have you know, young man, you will, or you'll be spending the night in the clink.
By the way, if you think he's nuts sober, you're absolutely right to think that he's even more nuts when he's slightly drunk.
Yes, and unfortunately, there is video footage.
Yes, I took some video footage
Yes.
on his phone
Yes.
for two reasons. One, I don't have much memory on my phone.
Thank God.
And two,
Yes.
didn't want him thinking I was going to upload it. Which he did.
I thought
can't
she
believe
was
you thought I would
streaming
do
it.
that to you.
I remember when I was a little worse for wear, that because she was holding the camera in front of me, I thought you were streaming it to the internet live.
I really think I'm not.
I know, but I was drunk, wasn't I? I
were
very
drunk.
rarely get drunk, so my.
But then again, in the morning when you were sober, you were like, "Oh, you didn't put it on Facebook, did you?"
Well, you know, one gets a little bit worried and confused and can't quite remember what had happened. The
No,
last time
definitely
I
not.
was drunk was probably about 20 years ago.
I just couldn't believe what was unfolding in front of me, so I had to try and get some evidence.
I am not proud of that fact.
Are you going to use any of it in the final edit?
No, I'm not going in there.
No?
I might show some of it on the Vobes show, but I'm not going to put it in the edit. I think that would it would just look a bit daft. I'm not saying that none of the rest of it looks daft.
We didn't actually talk about it, did we? On the
We didn't mention it in the video.
vloggy
No,
bits.
it's funny because there was a lot of stuff that happened that actually, when it came to filming, opportunity to film with everything going on, made us focus in a different way, and we missed quite a bit.
Yeah, I definitely need some sort of vlogging camera for myself.
Yes, so I'm going to set Julia up with a little action camera and a microphone and a handle so that she can grab footage whilst I'm doing other stuff, and then in the edit one can bung that all together and it will look all good. So there we go. You can go into his house in Stratford upon Avon, says Robert Baxter, and make yourself a nice cup of tea. Honestly, I didn't either,
me.
Julia, as I was reading Linda's comment too.
Yes, you didn't hear what you were waffling
Oh,
about.
right.
Yeah.
Days of Yours says 15:57. Wow, that's nearly 4 p.m. That's right. Shakespeare has an email address, doesn't he? Therefore, he must exist, just like Elvis Presley and Lord Lucan.
Don't know how you managed to get both him and Joe back on the boat, Julia. Well, you see, the thing is, oh, I should start at the beginning, shouldn't I? Right, the reason we went to the pub, I'd had a bit of an emotional day. I'd dinked the boat and I was having a really rough day. My pride had taken a hammering.
By dinking the boat, she means she rammed it into the side and we took in water.
You're not funny. Anyway, so, you know, my nerves were a bit shot. So, and we had Pete, the engineer, working
Lovely
on the boat.
Pete. If you're watching, hi matey.
Thanks. So I decided to take Joe for a little stroll in his buggy. Got some lovely pictures of the sunset and cows and Joe as well, by the way, for that bit. And, you know, on the way back, because I was only, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
I was desperately trying to keep Joe awake on the way back.
Yeah.
But inevitably he fell asleep. But I had passed another Anglo-Welsh boat on the way, you know, on my walk out. On my walk out.
On the towpath?
Yes, on the towpath. And, you know, they'd boarded their boat the same day we had ours.
Yeah.
At that yard. Anyway, they had a cute dog called Frankie. He was so sweet. Anyway, and they'd said they were going to the pub for a meal. You know, so I'd said goodbye and I'd carried on the walk. And I passed their boat again on the way back. You know, Jojo had fallen asleep, couldn't wake him. So I was like, right, okay, well, maybe I could walk to the pub and back before he wakes up. I could do with a stiff drink. You know, that would be my third one of the year. So, got back to the boat and I said to you, actually I said to Pete, how long have I got? Have I got 10 minutes? How close is this nearest pub anyway? He said, yeah, you've got time. Why don't you both go for a drink? And Richard was like, oh, yeah, actually, maybe I will. And I said, it's on me. So off we went.
So said, yeah, definitely going to the pub. I'll have two.
So off we trot down to the pub. I go, set
there was
Richard
a one-way
up outside.
system in the pub, wasn't there? That like all pubs, fit your mask on and all that business.
So, I left Richard and Joe sat out front. Joe
In
was
the
sleeping in his buggy. You had your scarf on, lovingly made by Fran.
Yes.
Don't know what you're whinging about.
I'm not whinging. Get on
So
with the story.
I go in.
Yeah. Sits by the fire, lights a pipe, puts her feet up.
I have to sit down to get served, so I'm sat
Meanwhile,
there.
Joe and I are out there going...
The couple that I'd been speaking to on the other boat were, chatting to me. I chatted to them, made my order, got the drinks, took them out, left my hat, had to go sleep back in, made the barmaid laugh. Anyway, so we drank those. He was chatting to this farmer when I came out.
Hello there, I'm the farmer.
So he's there sipping slowly away at his pint, and I'm like, glug, 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 glug. And there goes my martini. I want another one. Do you want another one? He goes, no, I'll only have a half.
I'll just have a half.
So off I trot back in again. And sit down at the table I've been sat at before, and the couple, they're a bit drunker now, so they start waffling at me again. Lovely conversation to have with them, really lovely couple.
Colder outside by this point, ladies
and the barman, but you were animatedly chatting to the farmer.
Or the farmer, he'd gone, hadn't he? He'd gone when you came out. He'd gone.
He had by the time I come out.
Yeah.
So the barman goes, would you like the same again? And without thinking, I just said yes, please, instead of saying, can I have a half instead? Anyway, so we ended up having the 2 pints.
2 pints, ladies and gentlemen.
And of course, we were like, oh, we've got to get back because we don't know
tribute
how long.
Ale.
I don't know how long the engineer's going to need. So I said, you don't have to drink that other half because I didn't mean to get you that last half. So he downed it. But we managed to get back to the boat before it really hit him.
Yes.
That's how I got him on board the boat. And then I locked every door to make sure he stayed on the boat.
And then the engineer went, and then the boat began to spin.
Yeah, a few minutes after we'd said goodbye to Pete.
The boat's spinning now. I don't know how to stop it, Pete. I don't understand.
I did confiscate his phone.
There's water in the tap, Pete. There's water in the tap. I don't understand it, Pete.
And he was accusing me of being sloshed. I was like, I'm not sloshed. I'm vaguely tipsy. And he was just absolutely...
Yes, I am a very, very lightweight.
It was very humorous.
But anyway...
But I did feel really bad because I didn't mean to do that to you.
No, it's all right.
I didn't know you'd be that lightweight.
I didn't know. To be honest, I didn't know I was that.
But it takes me at least 5 martinis to get half cut.
What about full cut? 10 martinis.
Well, probably about 8, and then I'm on the floor going.
Well, I was
on the
floor.
I'm on the floor going yeah.
Yeah, but I was on the floor.
You were on the
pints.
floor on 2 pints. Oh my god!
I was on the floor, and she'd got footage of me on the floor.
I tried to, but I was juggling you and Joe.
Yeah, golly. Poor old Joe, he'd had 3 pints. Imagine what he was like.
You're funny.
He was wasted. But he was very funny. The jokes that came out, they were a bit dirty, but they were filthy like his nappies. Anyway, shall we watch another video?
Yes, please, let's do.
Let's get to the essence of... Oh, hello. There it is.
It got dark in here for a moment.
I know, turn the lights out. Everything's reset itself. So, let's have a look. We've got, M or N?
Ooh, N.
N?
N.
It's time for the Andrew Norris
Yay!
moment.
Hello, Vobesters. I'm back in the village, and today is a significant day. It's the 9th of October, and today they're finally laying the concrete on the bridge. I'll show you what I filmed today. There are 3 pairs of pillars which span the river. It's very elegant. It's the following day, and I've come back down to the bridge to see the finished result of all the work that was carried out yesterday. Here it is. My first crossing on the incomplete bridge.
Do you know the thing I like about that?
What?
Apart from the fact that it looked like they were icing a cake. The thing I liked about that, thank you so much, Andrew, that's fascinating.
Really enjoyed that.
Is that there we are in 2020 and they're still using boards or planks to try and level it up. Instead of having these great big steamroller jobs that flatten it all down, it's just there's guys there with a plank going. So that was interesting. And then at the end, they were watering it. And I just thought, well, surely they want it to dry out.
That's what I was thinking too. So
then they want it to dry out. I didn't quite...
Did you know why they were spraying it down, Andrew?
And I was amazed that you were allowed to film them doing it.
Yeah,
that was, because you must.
Did they let you walk across it before it was finished? I thought that was quite.
I thought
you couldn't do that in this country, no, could you?
I thought when you said it's the following morning, I've come back here. I said to Julia.
Yeah. We thought you were going to put your famous hands in there.
Or footprints all across the bridge. Where it's not quite set.
A little star.
Oh. But great. How fascinating is that? Lovely. Very lovely. That's a lot of concrete. Yeah, that is a lot. Somebody somewhere had to mix it up. What's that?
Audrey Forbes Hamilton says water helps concrete go off.
Go off where?
Well, set.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it goes off. Right, I'm off. See you, mate.
Can't use a steamroller when it's fresh. Watering it prevents it drying out too quickly.
There
you go.
There you go. Thank you very much for...
Thanks. Thanks for that.
Thanks for that. We've been educated.
Just stop it cracking, yeah.
I didn't know, says Angie Fenner... that's how they do it. It always looks so idyllic to me.
Tell you what was idyllic was the scenery around the bridge.
Oh, yes.
Gorgeous.
The gorgeous colours of the blue.
Stunning
colours of the sun, and all the greenery of the green. It looked just very nice. And there is some bubbles. Thank you very much. Water finds its own level, says Graham Cass. And Martin says, Mike Dixon says martini was a popular drink. Mike Dixon and Bella. We've got Mike Dixon coming up, ladies and gentlemen, on the show. I think he's the only one we haven't seen as yet, I do believe. So we better get onto that very swiftly. That was a temporary bridge. Was that temporary bridge to the side a British pontoon bridge, says Jackie Trainer? That's an interesting question.
Andrew Norris says, Jackie, the pontoon was built in the late 1970s. The pontoons were built by the Croatian military.
Ah, there you are. How about that? Martini is a popular drink in New Haven, and I'm just about to have one, says Angie.
Mine's a sweet martini, a.k.a. Martini Rosso.
Oh.
Thank you, please.
Rosso. Which would be lovely. Drink.
Yeah, he's struggling with his keyboard there. Have you had a pint or two, have you, Glenn?
Are you struggling there with the old keyboard?
By the way, I noticed you found another Roman road.
Yes.
That was interesting, Glenn. Well done for keeping up the stuff whilst we've been swanning about on a boat.
Well done.
Well done. That's been brilliant. I think it's time now, ladies and gentlemen, for our last video. Thank you so much to Mike Dixon and Bella.
Bella
isn't actually in this one.
Is Helen in this one?
Helen, I don't think, is in this one. It's Mike Dixon.
Mike Dixon will do.
And a Motability scooter. Doing something that we all take for granted. Shopping.
Hello, Vobesters. It's Mike Dixon. Bella's not with us today because we're shopping down Asda, but I, on holiday in the Isle of Wight, fractured a bone, metatarsal bone in my right foot. So I borrowed an electric scooter at home, you know, for going out and about to the park for Bella's daily walks. But we're here at Asda in Hollingbury, and I've borrowed one of their shop mobility scooters, which is great fun. Anyway, I thought I'd just share it with you. It gives you the ability to get around and do our shopping. So there's the crutches that they gave me at the fracture clinic at St Mary's Hospital on the Isle of Wight. And I thought I'd just share with you a little bit about going around Asda on my mobility, on this Asda scooter. It's actually quite fun. A very, very useful kit, you know, for people who are either got fractures like myself or got poor mobility. So you just hire this scooter from the customer services, and it's got kind of reversibility. So there we are, going back. Obviously it's very safe. They're quite fun, but it definitely enables you to get out and about, trying to steer and film at the same time. It's, I must say, a bit of a challenge. But anyway, you get quite a good speed up here. But I think anybody who has mobility problems through illness, fractures, age, it's great that these kind of facilities are available. This one is provided free, and the one I got at home I've hired from a mobility shopping project in Worthing. So £7 a day is able to take Bella around the park. Anyway, we knew that they had these electric ones here at Asda, so I thought I'd just come along and do some shopping with my wife Helen. Anyway, I thought I'd just share it with you. Out and about, exploring on a mobility scooter. Anyway, I'll pass you back to Richard. Take care. Bye.
Oh, I love that. I thought it was hilarious what people thought of you. The thing that crossed my mind was, of course, you're in a supermarket and people, you know, when you're out in a public place, it's a public place, so if people get filmed and it's shared on the internet, that's you know, that's life. But in a supermarket, of course, it's a private place, so you shouldn't really film anybody. But I thought, doesn't matter, does it? They've all got their faces in disguise wearing masks. So you could go around filming them. I thought, top man. They've already had their faces voluntarily blurred out by themselves. You can't see who it is. It's me, but you don't know it's me. So well done. That was hilarious, Mike. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I was giggling, wasn't I?
Yes.
Whizzing round. Brilliant.
Thanks for sending it in.
Because you didn't actually pick anything off the shelf. You just sort of got on a go-kart and whizzed round. And I was hoping that you were going to bash a few people out the way at the same time. But
yeah. I hope your foot is healing, though.
Oh, yes. But we want more Motability scooter videos, please.
Yes.
Send them in. If you can go through a Ford, that would be great. Find a Ford and go through a Ford. If you can get up onto Brooklands, where they used to do the racing cars, that would be great. Maybe up onto Gatwick, if there's any planes flying these days, and race one. That would be another... Lots of ideas there for you, Mike. You may end up in prison, but do send us the video first. That would be fantastic. Wonderful stuff. I had to save that for the end. Judy in disguise with glasses. That's like a song, isn't it? Judy in disguise with glasses.
In the sky with diamonds.
No, it's Judy in disguise with glasses. Anyway, like how the shoppers scattered left and right. Like, yeah, you should have put the sound of the bowling ball hitting the pins.
That would have been funny.
That would have been great. And the wine was on special offer, but he didn't stop, says Jackie Trainer. Yeah, absolutely. What you been up to, Mike? Just come in. Hello, peeps.
Hello, Mark DM.
Hello, Mark DM. Lovely to see you in
Howdy
the DMs.
doodle.
So there we go. It looked worse than it actually feels, Mike. However, I have a foot fracture before I know how painful they are. I've read that.
She's broken her toe from last week when she dropped her mum's walker on it.
Oh, don't do that, Rammy Boo.
Ouch.
Ouchie doozy. We do still have the phone line open if anybody wants to give us a last minute phone call on 07934746790 before we disembark for the evening, which we will do very shortly. We had a lovely time on the canal. Did we tell them about that?
We told them some about it.
Did we tell them the time I got drunk?
Yes, we told them about that.
Oh.
Do we want to show them some of that?
I haven't got it here.
Oh.
It's not on... I'm not... Yeah, no, it's on my phone.
You're not stupid enough to bring it in.
I haven't set it up on the thing. It's not available. Glenn Johnson says, Martini is a popular drink in New Haven. I'm about to have another one. Made me laugh, but not so funny when you have to explain.
Yep. No, I agree with that. Yep. I thought you were correcting yourself. That was all.
Oh, I see.
But yeah.
He should have had... What? Rammy Boo says he should have did one backing up. Beep,
oh,
beep.
Beep.
He did do a backing up.
Did he?
In the video, yeah, he did. He did a reversing. Beep, beep, beep.
Yeah.
Rammy Boo, you weren't watching. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here's a caller on the phone. Now, careful as you lift up your thing. We don't want any more mishaps on the show. Hello, caller.
Hello.
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 Who's that? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Can you give us your name, please?
Elijah.
Hello, Elijah. And how are you today?
Good.
Marvellous. Thank you for calling in.
He's good, thank you, actually, Elijah.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, you rung up the show. Are you still up or have you gone to bed?
I'm still up right now.
Are you? Are you enjoying the show?
What?
The answer is yes, I'm enjoying the show.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the show a lot.
Your mother is on the show tonight, which has been an absolute bonus. Did you miss her while she was away on a canal boat?
Yep, I really missed her.
What was the things that you missed most about your mum being away?
To just cuddle her and kiss her.
Ah.
And I also missed Joe a lot too.
What, missed me?
Joe.
Oh, Joe. So I thought you was going to miss me.
His baby brother.
Yes, your baby brother came with us, which was a shame. I mean, for you, but not for Julia.
Yeah.
I'm digging holes here, which I'm very good at, actually. So, have you been to school today?
Yep.
Yep. And what's it like going to school at the moment with this COVID?
Well, okay right now. Well, it's getting a little awkward, but I'm doing okay.
How do you mean awkward? What's awkward about it?
Well, that break is first, then doing lunch, which is to me a little strange.
Yeah, I understand that you don't get very long for lunch.
It's that's an issue.
It's an issue. It's very short. Short. What did your kids do for lunch? Do they eat lunch at school?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you have at lunch? What do they serve you up?
I send him a packed lunch.
Oh, you send him a packed lunch?
I make him a packed lunch.
Oh, you make him. Sorry, sorry, I misunderstood that. That's all right. What's your favourite lesson?
Well, I think like guided reading or science.
Guided reading. Did you just say guided reading?
Yep.
Oh.
Did you know that?
No.
No.
Oh,
Well,
good. I'm glad.
What do they do in guided reading? They help you read the complicated words, do they?
And we do comprehensions as well.
Is that where they make you talk about the book and what you've read?
Well, it gives you like a quiz on the book.
Uh-huh.
Ah, That's good, because I suppose they're testing your knowledge of what you've read. It's what you've just said, isn't it?
I've just said all
I was just trying to comprehend what he meant by comprehensions. Yeah, that's really good. So, what was the one thing you're looking forward to doing with your mum now that she's back in your house?
Well, I'm actually not sure.
No. Have you been playing with your VR whilst your mum was away?
A little. Mhm.
Oh, good. And has your dad been looking after you very well?
Yes. Yep.
Yep. Oh, well, that's marvellous. That's all big thumbs up. So all very successful.
Laura Riddle is asking how old you are, Elijah.
I'm 9 right now.
Right now.
And when are you going to be 10?
I'm gonna be 10 in 2 months, and I think it's like 4 days.
Sounds about right.
That's near Christmas, isn't it?
Yep, like 6 or 7 days near Christmas.
6 days before Christmas.
Wow. So you get loads of presents then at that time of year.
Yeah.
But you have to wait a long time, don't you?
That's a big whack of a time to have to wait.
Because my birthday falls in July, so halfway through the year, and I get, tons and tons and tons of nothing. And then at Christmas time, 6 months later, I get another ton of nothing. Load of stuff. So that's quite nice. When I was a kid, it would break up the year. So how do you manage to wait so long?
Well,
You have no choice, I suppose.
yeah. Well, the computer is quite nice.
Yes, and you you get time on that, I guess, which is great. Well, that's really cool. Robert Croser says, my daughter gets private tuition, and I bet he keeps the receipts for that. Kerry Baldwin says, my nephew will be 7 on Boxing Day.
That's very close to Christmas.
That's very close. That's the day they box up the kids and send them off for another year, and then open them on Christmas Eve and go, that's my child again. So that's very exciting.
John F. is asking if he's a Capricorn, like John F. No, actually, he's a Sagittarian, like me.
Ah, Sagittarian.
Aren't you, Elijah?
Mhm.
Yeah, both fiery figures. Aren't we, Elijah? Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So what's the best part of the show that you've seen tonight? Have you been watching the show?
Mhm. Yep.
What's your favourite bit?
Well, the videos.
The videos,
and,
of course.
The bubble blower.
The bubble blower, yeah, we like the bubble blower.
Well, that's quite loud, actually.
That was, yeah. Well.
Oh, and the bridge is really cool as well.
Yes, a bit of engineering there, because you like your engineering, don't you?
Yep, I do.
You do. Well, it's been so nice to talk to you, Elijah. Thank you for ringing in. You hope you'll ring in again when your mum's on the show.
But thanks for having me.
That's a pleasure. Absolute pleasure. But I think it's time for us to end the show.
Yeah, it's time for you to trot off to bed, isn't it, Joyce?
Yeah, it's time for you to go to bed as well.
Bye-bye.
Love you,
Take
darlings.
care.
Night-night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good night, everyone.
Good night, Elijah.
I hope you had a nice day.
We did, and it was lovely to hear from you on the show.
Bye-bye.
There we go. Bye. So there we are. That was Julia's son, in case you didn't guess.
Yeah, in case
Elijah.
you hadn't assumed.
And how old was he?
9.
9. It did actually say that. I was just
he
testing
was
your
9
memory.
and he is 9 and he
still
will be
is.
10.
He's 9 right now.
Yes.
Apparently. Oh, that was very nice. There we are. If you've got a young kiddie who wants to ring up on the show, do give him my number.
Nigel Sadler says his is 17 today.
No
kidding. Your kid is 17 today.
17? Which
No
one
way.
then? Which kid?
I thought you only had one.
He's got 2.
Oh, right.
He's got a girl and a boy. It's obviously his daughter.
Daughter must be 17.
Whose name I can't remember.
Because Aaron, no.
Not Aaron, yes. Aaron's his son.
Is,
What's it? Katie, isn't it?
younger.
Kate or someone? Kate, your daughter? I'm sure it's Kate. We'll see.
I feel terrible. I didn't even realise he had a daughter.
Yeah, no.
Has
but
a daughter.
They've both been round here. In fact, when Nigel Sadler once turned up, Kate came in, she cooked a meal, she hoovered for me, she cleaned the banister. I'm sure it's Kate. I'm just waiting for him to confirm and say it's something completely different. We're just waiting now, waiting for the text to come through. Elijah's gone looking for a ring somewhere.
Yeah,
Mine
that's a
was
reference.
28 last week.
Reference to Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
Elijah Wood played Frodo.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
Jackie Trainor's child was 28 last week.
I think Nigel's disappeared. So anyway, that's it for tonight's show. Thank you so much for calling in and being part of the show, for typing in and being part of the show, for
Watching and being part of the show.
and for Judith, if Judith is out there. Emily. That's what I said. It was Emily. Did I say Kate? I said Emily.
And Emily and Nigel and Kelly are married 18 years today. Happy anniversary! I did read that this morning.
Who's Nigel and Kelly?
Nigel Sadler.
Oh, and Kelly, his wife.
I'm assuming that's his wife.
If they've been married for 18 years, I think that would probably be about it.
It'd be a bit weird if it wasn't his wife.
Yeah. Have they really been married for 18 years?
It seems like it.
Nigel doesn't look old enough.
He doesn't. You're right.
He doesn't. No. I'm sure he must have married a Thunderbird before then, didn't he?
Well, who's to say she's not a Thunderbird?
Maybe she is. Anyway, it's so good to hear about all your marital things and your children.
Your anniversary.
And before we dig more holes than we really intend on this show, I hope I'll be back on Wednesday. Probably will be, because what else am I going to do on a Wednesday night other than sulk? So do tune in for that. Thanks to the lovely Judith, as she was there with her spanner, making sure everybody behaves themselves. Thanks for keeping all the receipts, Robert Croser. And for watching the show and keeping us all entertained by providing the videos. Thank you to Julia for coming in.
Thank you for Richard for doing the show, as always.
And thank you for all the words that go thank you, that I can span out the show just that little bit longer by thanking people.
Wait a second. Wait.
Wait.
Is Nigel having me on? He says he's 62 3/4.
Who?
That can't be right.
No, he's not 62 3/4. He's the same age as somebody else. Anyway, that's it. Thank you so much. Take care. Look after yourselves.
29th of November, Ramiboo.
Yeah. 29th of November. Is that a good night?
Yeah.
Marvellous.
It's great. Best day of the year.
Till next time, from the Vobes and from the lovely Julia, arrivederci, goodbye.
Bye.
Prepare for bubbles.
Bubbly, bubble, bubbles. Bubble, 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 bubbles. Are you trying to get one in your mouth?
I was trying to do the blowing thing, but it doesn't matter.
Right, ready?
1, 2, 3.
Thank you.